Welcome to Film Recaps. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and enjoy the story.
The film begins with a gang leader named Alejandro entering a bar and asking a waitress to bring him something to drink. When she serves him the drink, he asks her about her boyfriend named Jensen. The waitress is surprised and doesn't know how to answer him, so he asks her to sit in front of him and tells her not to be surprised because he knows many things about her, such as knowing that her name is Lizzie and that he knows the address of her house and knows all her family. He informs her that he is the king and can do anything, like he could stab her with a knife from under the table and finish her off immediately. Lizzie gets scared of him and asks him what he wants from her. He tells her to tell Jensen to return the goods that he stole from him, and he warns her against disappearing or trying to escape, because he will be able to reach her in any place she will be. And after he finishes his talk, he asks her to get up and continue her work. The next day, there is a girl named Tag with her father Baudry in the forest, and it appears that Baudry is teaching Tag deer hunting. After they finish, they return home and have lunch together. At night, they sit to watch television, and it is clear that Baudry and his daughter are living a quiet and stable life. At the end of the day, Tag goes up to her room to sleep, but before she sleeps, she looks at her mother's picture while she is sad. The next morning, Baudry prepares a cake for his daughter on the occasion of her birthday and brings her many gifts. After he puts them on the table, he takes his car and goes to the city. When Tag wakes up, she is happy with the surprise Baudry made for her and opens the first gift, which contains an expensive pistol. As for Baudry, he goes to receive letters from the post, and afterwards he enters a shop and likes a grass-cutting machine, but the shop owner tells him that it is broken. Baudry tells him that he will buy it and fix it, and for that reason, he buys it from him for a very small amount. We return to Tag, who goes to catch fish from a river, but while she is returning, she hears the sound of someone in pain and asking for help. She takes out her pistol and walks in the direction of the sound until she sees something strange that shocks her. At this time, Baudry returns home and gets startled when he discovers that Tag is not there. He keeps looking for her everywhere until he finds her coming to him while she is terrified and tells him that she found something strange at the river. Baudry takes his weapon and goes with her there quickly, and then he is shocked when he sees in front of him a girl thrown on the rocks. He runs to her and finds her still alive, but she is injured with severe injuries, so he takes her and returns with her to the house. Tag suggests that they take her to the hospital, but Baudry tells her that he must stop the bleeding first and asks her to bring him the first aid kit and bring him alcohol and water with them. Tag runs quickly to bring him the things he needs. Here, this girl begs him not to take her to the hospital, so Baudry agrees and reassures her, but he understands that there is a problem behind her. After that, Tag returns and helps Baudry, and they treat her injury. After he finishes, he goes out to sit next to Tag in front of the house. Here, Tag asks him why he didn't take her to the hospital, so he tells her that she is the one who asked him for that, and since she was injured by a shot, this means that the matter will involve the police and many questions. Tag asks him if this girl will live, so he reassures her that her injury is not dangerous, but she bled a lot and needs to rest and drink fluids. After a little time, Tag prepares food for this girl and enters her room and helps her to eat. At night, Baudry tells his daughter that he is happy with what she did with the girl and tells her that he will go to the city the next day to bring some things and asks her not to leave the house at all and emphasizes to her not to let the girl get up from her place until he returns. Tag is surprised by his words, so he explains to her that they don't know her and don't know what is behind her, and for that reason, they must not trust her. After he finishes his talk, he leaves her and goes to sit in the hall while holding the weapon, and it appears that he is worried about the girl's presence with him in the house. The next day, this girl wakes up and finds her hands handcuffed. She gets scared and asks Tag about the reason. Tag tells her that Baudry did this because they don't know her and reassures her and informs her that they won't hurt her. Tag changes the subject and asks her about her name. She tells her that her name is Jenny. At that time, Baudry is in the supermarket buying supplies and also buys a new t-shirt for Jenny. After he finishes, he finds a police car in front of him, so he approaches it and greets the police chief named Brick. It appears that Brick and Baudry are old friends. At that time, Brick introduces him to the new officer named Dave. When Baudry returns home, he enters to check on Tag and Jenny and finds them sleeping. After a little time, Tag wakes up and goes to Baudry while he is fixing the grass-cutting machine. She tells him that she noticed that Jenny has a tattoo and that she admires the shape she made and asks him if her mother had tattoos. He tells her she had more than one and asks her not to think of making tattoos on her body at all. At night, Baudry stays sitting next to Jenny until she wakes up and is surprised that he uncuffed her hands. He asks her who she is and who did this to her. She tells him her name and tells him that she lives in the village with her friend named Lizzie. On the day of the accident, she was returning home after work and was surprised that there were masked people holding Lizzie and hitting her. As soon as they saw her, they caught her and hit her as well. Jenny says that these people were asking Lizzie about her boyfriend, and Lizzie didn't know his location for a while, but they didn't believe her and took them by car and dropped them in the forest. There, they shot Lizzie and finished her off. As for her, she was able to escape from them, but one of them shot her, so she fell from the top of the bridge and went down next to the river. After that, she heard them while they were looking for her, and for that reason, she kept crawling until she went down into the water and kept holding her breath for a long time so they wouldn't feel her. At that time, they thought she was dead and left the place. After she made sure they left, she kept swimming with difficulty and was able to get out of the water. Baudry asks her about her friend. She tells him that she was an innocent and delicate girl, and unfortunately she loved a deceptive and criminal person. The next day, Baudry goes to the river and looks for Lizzie's body, and as soon as he finds it, pushes it into the water. When he returns home, Tag asks him where he was. Baudry tries to hide it from her and doesn't want her to know anything, but Tag knows that he is lying, so he is forced to tell her the truth and tells her about the story of Jenny and her friend Lizzie, and that he found Lizzie's body and threw it in the river. He tells her that after what happened, Jenny must leave the house because the people who killed Lizzie, if they knew Jenny's location, would come to finish her off. He tells her to enter the house and lock herself in well and not come out until he returns. Baudry then goes to the city and calls the police to report Jenny, but for an unclear reason, he changes his mind. In the house, Jenny asks Tag to go to the bathroom. Tag helps her and takes her to the bathroom and stays waiting for her in front of the door. As soon as Jenny enters the bathroom, she looks out the window, and it appears that she is afraid that someone is coming to look for her. When she is reassured that the place is safe, she goes to look in the mirror and breaks down when she sees the injuries on her face, and this makes her tired, and she asks Tag to return her to the bed again. There, Jenny asks Tag about her mother. She tells her that her mother died when she was young. After a little time, Baudry returns home and gets annoyed when he finds Jenny sitting in the hall. Tag goes to him and tells him that she knows he is angry with her because she let Jenny come out of the room. He reminds her that he told her it's not possible to trust her no matter what happened, but Tag surprises him and tells him that she trusts her and leaves him and enters the house. At night, they have dinner together, and it is clear that Tag is happy with Jenny's presence with them. After they finish, Jenny goes out to sit with Baudry in front of the house. Baudry surprises her and tells her that he will take her to the city the next day and informs her that there is a clinic there and she will find good care. Jenny remains silent and doesn't answer, and when she goes up to the room, worry and tension appear on her. At this time, Alejandro knows that his men reached Jensen's place and brought him to the warehouse. He goes to him and tells him that they have kidnapped his wife and son. Jensen breaks down and apologizes to him and informs him that he was intending to steal the goods indeed, but he changed his mind and delivered it to the gang, and he can confirm this talk himself. Alejandro tells him that he is sure he delivered the goods, but he made a mistake and must be punished. After he finishes his talk, he holds a drill and finishes him off. The next day, Baudry asks Tag to go look at their neighbor because it's been 2 days since he saw him and wants to check on him. Tag agrees and tells him that she will take the car, but Baudry tells her that he wants the car because he is going to the city. Tag is surprised and takes her bicycle and moves on her way. It appears at that time that Baudry intended to keep her away from the house so as not to let her see Jenny while she is leaving. After that, Baudry takes Jenny in his car and they go to the city. On the road, they find the police standing at the river. He gives her the cap to wear it so no one takes notice of her, and he gets down to see what is happening. There, he learns from Brick that they found the body of a police officer in the river. We learn here that this officer is Jensen. Brick says that Jensen was involved with the Brotherhood gang, and this gang is very dangerous and has influence everywhere. They also learn that they found the body of a girl named Lizzie, and there is a relationship between the accident of her death and the accident of Jensen's death, other than that Lizzie's friend is missing and no one knows her location. Brick asks him if he noticed anything strange in the recent period. Baudry tells him that he didn't see anything noteworthy. Brick asks him to keep Tag away from the river these days. At that time, Dave looks at Baudry's car, and this draws Brick's attention and makes him ask Baudry about the girl with him. Baudry tells him that she is his sister's daughter coming to visit him. It appears that Dave doesn't believe Baudry's words, but Baudry ignores him completely and takes Jenny and returns home. At night, Alejandro learns from one of his men that they found Jenny and knew her location. He orders him to send someone to finish her off. Indeed, two of the gang arrive at Baudry's house. At that time, Baudry is standing in front of the house. One of the gang gets out of the car and tells him that his sister is named Jenny and that he is looking for her because she ran away with someone named Jensen. He describes her shape to him and asks him if he had seen her. He tells him that he didn't see her. He apologizes to him for the disturbance, leaves him, gets in the car with his colleague, and they leave. After a little time, we see one of the gang in the car monitoring Baudry's house. Suddenly, Baudry appears and raises the weapon at him. This man warns him and tells him that he is not up to what he is doing, but Baudry ignores his talk and asks him how many of them are monitoring the house. This man tells him that the right question is how many people are now inside the house. At that moment, his colleague attacks Jenny and tries to kill her, but Tag comes from behind him and threatens him with the pistol. Jenny takes the opportunity and stabs him in his neck with the knife. Here Tag gets more tense and fires a shot from the pistol by mistake at the ceiling of the house. As soon as Baudry hears the sound of gunfire, he finishes off the gang member in front of him. Afterwards, he runs quickly and enters the house. There, he sees this man lying on the ground on the verge of death, so he hits him and finishes him off with gunfire. Afterwards, he keeps searching in the house to see if there is anyone else from the gang present in the house, but he doesn't find anyone. The next day, he burns the bodies of the gang members, gets in their car, and goes to get rid of it. After that, Tag enters to Jenny and apologizes to her because she wasn't able to act quickly and shoot the gang member. But Jenny says that she is a brave girl, and without her presence, she wouldn't have been able to kill the gang member. Afterwards, Jenny goes to Baudry and tells him that she must leave from here because her presence will be a danger to them, and apologizes to him for anything that happened to them because of her. Baudry leaves her and goes to the forest. There, he stands at a certain place he knows and keeps digging in the ground and takes out a box full of money, takes a large amount from it, and returns it to its place. Afterwards, he goes to meet Brick in the church and asks him for a favor by virtue of the friendship between them. He informs him that Jenny, Lizzie's friend, is with him in the house. He tells him he is not confident to deliver her to the police, especially after he learned from him that Officer Jensen was working for the gang. He asks him to take Jenny and smuggle her from the city. Brick agrees and promises him that he will protect her. Baudry thanks him and returns to Jenny and makes Tag say goodbye to her and asks her to leave them alone. Afterwards, he gives Jenny the money that he took from the box. Jenny thanks him and walks with Brick. When Baudry and Tag return home, it appears that Tag is very annoyed and tells Baudry that she didn't want Jenny to leave, and that is because she was trusting them and feeling safe while she was with them. She asks him that they go to bring her from the place she is in, but Baudry informs her that this won't work because her presence with them represents a danger to them. Tag gets sad, leaves him, and goes up to her room. But the next day she wakes up from sleep and finds Baudry next to her, and he informs her that he changed his mind and they will go bring Jenny to stay with them. They indeed go to the city, and Baudry gets down from the car and calls Brick, but he is surprised when he finds his phone closed. He goes to him at the police station and asks about him. There, Dave takes him aside to talk alone. He informs him that Brick disappeared since yesterday and tells him that he suspects that Brick is involved with the Brotherhood gang. Baudry tells him that he has known Brick for 35 years and it's impossible for him to do that. But Dave draws his attention that money can change anything, other than that Brick is close to retiring and might have collaborated with the gang to ensure a good pension. He also tells him that he was the last one who saw Brick and asks him what he wanted him for. He informs him that they are friends and met for a normal meeting as they used to meet before. Afterwards, he leaves him and returns home, prepares his weapon. When Tag sees him and asks about what is happening, he tells her that the gang killed Brick. Tag breaks down and is afraid that Jenny might be dead too, but Baudry hugs her and tries to calm her and reassure her. At night, Dave sneaks into Baudry's house, but Baudry surprises him, hits him and makes him lose consciousness. When Dave wakes up, he finds himself tied to a chair, and Baudry is standing in front of him putting the grass cutting machine in front of his face. Dave gets scared that Baudry will kill him and confesses to him that he works for the gang and that he killed Brick and took Jenny and took her to the warehouse at Alejandro's. Baudry returns home, prepares the weapons and goes to say goodbye to Tag while she is sleeping. Afterwards, he writes her a message and tells her in it that he loves her and fears for her and asks her to forgive him because he lied to her and made her understand that her mother died. The truth is that her mother is still alive, but she entered prison because of her wrong actions. He informs her that her mother got out of prison 4 months ago and she is currently changing for the better and that she was always sending her letters because she wants to see her, but he cut all these letters. Baudry informs her that he is going to save Jenny and is not guaranteed that he will return again. After he finishes, he leaves the message on the table, takes Dave, and they go to the warehouse location. There one of the gang meets them, but Baudry finishes him off quickly and gets out of the car and faces Alejandro and his men. Baudry asks Alejandro to deliver Jenny to him in exchange for delivering Dave. Alejandro mocks him and tells him that he might deliver Jenny to him, but on the condition that he delivers his daughter first. Here, one of the gang members appears and moves from behind Baudry and approaches him to finish him off, but Tag comes with a sniper rifle and shoots this man and kills him. At that time, Baudry engages with Alejandro and his men in an exchange of fire. At that time, Baudry notices that someone is helping him, but he doesn't know who it is. Suddenly, one of the gang members approaches him and is about to kill him, but Tag shoots him with a shot and finishes him off. Here Baudry knows that Tag is the one helping him, so he finishes off the rest of the gang men and enters quickly to the warehouse. There he finds Jensen's wife and son. Suddenly, he hears Alejandro's voice from the room next to them, but when he opens the room, he is shocked that this voice is coming from a recording device and sees Jenny thrown on the ground in front of him. Alejandro comes from behind Baudry and stabs him with a knife in his back and takes the weapon from him, stands in front of him and tells him that he is the king and no one can defeat him. But suddenly Tag appears from behind Alejandro and shoots him and kills him. After that, she takes Baudry, Jenny, Jensen's wife, and her son to the hospital. A month passes after these events, and we see Jenny after she has recovered and regained her health. As for Baudry, he is still in the recovery stage from his injury. At that time, Jenny thanks them for their help, says goodbye and leaves. Afterwards, Baudry takes Tag to go meet her mother in a cafe. The mother is very happy as soon as she sees her daughter and takes her in her arms. The film ends.